we want to focus on the depth. That's where all the mastery is. That's where our focus always is on the core, the depth, the first principle of what anything is. Whether that's a person or a business, the truth is always going to be in the first principle awareness of a thing. And that's not something that can be defined or given a direct language around. So, storytelling in essence is translating that feeling and that energy of the first principle awareness of what something is into language that is unique to that essence, because each expression of that core essence is utterly unique. What we're meant to do here is be an expression of that which we feel deepest in our soul, in our heart, and whatever is expressed through the body, through the creativity, through the art, is our nearest translation of that which we are. And that expression is our gift to humanity. So, if that expression results in a business or a brand or a that's great. The philosophy here is that you want to align as much of that business and that brand with that core essence as possible in order to have the greatest amount of impact on the people that you wish to impact. And it is physics that will result in what you would call success. So how that expression gets translated is really, there's not going to be one framework for a whole bunch of companies. As I said, it's utterly unique. What we need is people who get it, who understand this. So, if we were to have a team of filmmakers that understand this, a team of writers who understand this, so nobody's ever really focused on the surface level stuff, but we're always focused on the depth of something. And it takes a certain level of awareness to be in that space. It takes a certain person that gets that, and I have met very few in my life. So that's what we're going for here. Storylance is a company that focuses exclusively on that core essence and the depth of it, and then its expression in the world, where you remove all of the filters, and data, all that stuff is a physical manifestation of filters, which is we mold ourselves in society to be a certain way so that we can be accepted by a certain societal structure out of the fear of being different, standing out, all of that, which keeps us safe. We very clearly see, whether it's with our eyes or with our hearts, that there's a shift happening into a reality and a consciousness that is heart-focused versus head-focused. So, as each of these expressions take on a unique manifestation, the fact that they are standing out, being themselves, the core real self, the depth of the self, and that's being expressed through the business or the brand or the whatever, they're going to have so much more impact because souls all over the planet are waking up to this feeling of the new consciousness, and these expressions through these businesses are going to be what people respond to. You could call it trust. They're going to have an innate sense of trust for these kinds of brands. And what's really such a benefit too is it just takes away all of the confusion. The amount of times I've seen people get up and they've done this 17-person study on what's our why. It's like nothing else in nature does that. So I want to say also about storytelling, however it is that we have, our perception has shaped our universe, we have reference points. And we need to translate the essence through the reference points. And the storytelling is the same way. We reference relatable things in order to tell a deeper message. And by referencing those things rhythmically or musically or, film, hitting all the senses of sight and sound, it's, in a sense, a Trojan horse that once all the pieces are put together, we get that deeper message. But it has to be translated through what we know to be familiar. And that's the art, that's the challenge. That's why we'll be paid a lot of money. It's because this is the art that we are proficient in. Whether that is doing it ourselves or communicating it to other creatives, it's all about capturing that essence and translating it into a digestible format that's going to get the feeling across while telling a familiar collection of reference points. The last thing I want to mention is just the word authenticity and how much of a driving force is that, how much of a driving force that is in our message going forward. Now, authenticity has been played out in a sense, but what's really just incredible and beautiful is that the second that you reference anything other than your core expression in order to sell, you are being inauthentic. And the thing that resonates the most right now is authenticity. So it's really just a triple, you call it, there's just so much benefit here. It's to say that you're going to find a story that expresses at the highest level of what something is, while also, by doing that, being the most authentic version, therefore resonating at an even deeper level, because you are expressing yourself authentically. And by following these principles, you can't ever be inauthentic unless you deviate from them out of fear or succumbing to the societal pressures, which are always based on fear, always based on what if they don't get it, always based on, yeah, but I've not seen that before, therefore we need to be a little bit more like this other thing because that's a safe space for us to know that we'll get some sort of response, blah, 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 blah. Those things have worked in a fiat kind of way in the past, but they don't work anymore, and they're going to work less and less and less and less and less. So anything created not from the authenticity of the soul is going to fall apart. It's going to crash and burn. It's going to be exposed for the fraud that it is. Okay? And that's what we're going to see over the next 5-10 years. So it's a very simple thing here, guys. It's like, what are you all about? Who are you? What do you want? What are you trying to say? What is your soul trying to express into this world? And how does your thing, your business, whatever, align with that? And how do we turn that into language that you can lead with out into the market, the whatever you want to call it, so that you can have the biggest amount of impact, therefore bringing that sales, economic gain to your company in a natural way that's full of integrity, that's actually adding value to people's lives. We need you more than ever. All right? We need you more than ever.